So the stage is now set. We know it will be Canada versus Mexico here on Friday night at BC Place. Gavin, you got a chance to see Mexico tonight against the U.S., the #1 side in the world. What did you see from Mexico that might pose some problems for Canada on Friday?
They do like to work the ball around really well. I mean, they had some pretty good movement going on that did cause the Americans a bit of trouble at times. But I mean, they were taken out of the game so quickly. It was hard to see them in sort of full flow just because they had the wind knocked out of their sails with 2 quick goals really early on.
And Canada, you know, a very strong side. They showed well throughout this tournament, but it really comes down to this match on Friday. It's all well and good to beat these smaller sides, but this is going to be their first true test of the tournament. What do you expect from Canada on Friday?
Well, this is the game they have been preparing for. Even in the pre-tournament press conference, Canadian coach John Herdman, he said, we're working for Game 4. That's what they've called it. They're calling it Game 4. It's determining everything. You know, with the crowds that have been here for Canada, they've been coming out quickly. It has helped, and you know, I expect an early start. They'll look to the American lead. The Americans took Mexico completely out of the game, taking it to them early and getting 2 goals in quick succession. After that, Mexico was done essentially, and you know, look for Canada to do that. The home field advantage should also play into their hands.
We know that Christine Sinclair will, of course, be at the heart of everything Canada does, as she always is. But you can expect she'll receive special attention from Mexico, as she always does as well. Who are you looking to step up, maybe in support of Christine, to offer that extra bit of support going forward for Canada?
I think we actually started to see it in the last game, in fact. I mean, you look at the likes of Kaylin Kyle, who came forward. She scored a goal. Sophie Schmidt popped up for one. And even the likes of in the very first game, we saw Christina Julian. So they have been able to show flashes where other players are stepping forward. But, you know, they are going to try to pay special attention to Christine Sinclair, but teams around the world have tried, and she keeps on scoring. So I expect her to play a part in some way as well.
This team story has been well documented, of course, a disappointing World Cup campaign, followed by a great campaign at the Pan Ams. How much would a good performance on Friday against Mexico and qualifying for London 2012 do for this program to move things back on the right track?
It's the beginning of a long road. You know, the Pan Am Games were a start. The Olympics is the next step, and I think a lot of them are circling 2015, where Canada is playing at home in that next World Cup as the big priority. Obviously, the Olympics is a much more condensed tournament. It really is the best of the best. So getting that spot booked on Friday will absolutely be massive for the development of the program heading into another round of World Cup events on the road to 2015.
As we're well and truly used to, there was some strong Mexican support, as they get everywhere in North America, here tonight at BC Place. A lot of Mexicans coming up from the States and in the local area as well. In the post-game press conference, Mexican coach Leonardo Cuellar kind of taunted Canadian fans. He said, you know, there might be more Mexicans than Canadians here on Friday. They might be louder. What do you expect from the crowd turnout on Friday?
You know, he has a point. The Mexican support, even when they were trailing 2-0, they were loud. They were making noise the entire time. Whether or not if a Canadian crowd was here, down 2 goals would have been the same. That remains to be seen. Fortunately for Canada, they haven't had to play in that sort of scenario yet. But you know, it's going to be even bigger. And we saw it in the second game where Canada did have some fantastic support, over 12,000 fans. They're going to need that again because Mexico, in beating the United States and qualifying for the last World Cup, it was in Cancun, Mexico, and the home support really drove it in for them. And Canada's going to need that because a lot of that Mexican support, as you mentioned, is going to be up here. They're going to be here to make a noise, and they're going to need some Canadians to be as loud or louder.
The toughest test is yet to come for the team and for the supporters on Friday. Canada will take on Mexico here at BC Place at 8 p.m. PT out here on the West Coast. Gavin, thanks so much for your time.
Anytime.